Tonight on CTV News, another measles case has health authorities on high alert, a major government announcement on housing, and the flag debate, yes, it's back again.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Great to have your company tonight. Well, the Housing Minister, Dr Nick Smith, is trumpeting yet another government announcement. The Minister announced plans for a housing development in Riccarton, a racecourse between Yoldhurst and Stedmans Road. The site is spanning 33 hectares and will provide space for nearly 600 homes. But is it actually enough?
Is this land suitable for longer-term affordable housing? It's the latest green space within metropolitan Christchurch to be turned into housing, and 1/3 of the 600 homes planned will be built to sell at less than $450,000 each. And while the government considers this to be a benchmark price of affordability, Labour's Poto Williams says for people living on a medium income, a mortgage of this amount is not affordable and would cost about 75% of their weekly income. But those who will make money out of the development are the Riccarton Racecourse trustees and Naitahu, who are jointly developing the 33-hectare site. In total, there are 123 hectares of reserved land surrounding the racecourse, and it has been largely unused since the course was established in 1878. In May, the government will fast-track legislation to allow the site to be sold for long-term residential purposes, currently prevented under the Racecourse Reserve Act. All going well, construction is expected later this year, with homes and sections expected to be on the market from 2016, being sold in stages. 4,400 new homes were built in Christchurch last year, that's 73% more than in 2013. Recent real estate statistics show the city's housing stock is starting to come online for the first time since the earthquakes, especially with new subdivisions in the Waimakariri and Selwyn districts. This is easing housing pressure and rent prices are starting to level out. However, demand for housing continues in the city's western suburbs, and Riccarton is one area with higher housing prices. So, if the prices do continue to rise, what will happen to the so-called affordable housing in this area? They're of course likely to rise as well.
Well, people in the community of Christchurch, as a wider issue really, are being urged to be immunised as soon as possible. The CDHB says the cases 2 weeks apart suggest measles has gained a foothold in the community. Medical Officer of Health Cheryl Brunton says it's likely there'll be more cases and the only way to stop it is through vaccination. She says 90% of children should become immunised from this. The vaccination's by 15 months but aren't able to receive the second dose until they're 4 years old. The CDHB is investigating the source of the child's measles and there are current no known connections with the previous measles case. Well, it's a bit of a simple yes or no really. That's what Labour wants New Zealand to answer when it comes to a referendum. Can you believe this? Yes, the flag debate is back again.
The Silver Fern. It's unique to New Zealand. Our netball team is named after it, and it's featured on the All Blacks jerseys for more than 120 years. Air New Zealand planes are also branded with it, and such a prominent icon that designer and author Michael Smythe believes there's a conspiracy to make the Silver Fern the feature of our next flag.
I have a conspiracy theory, and my conspiracy theory is backed up by a great deal of fact.
Michael Smythe says the Silver Fern has been forced on us for decades, a form of brainwashing, if you will.
The most blatant example was probably when the Duchess of Cambridge came off the plane with George in her arms and a little diamond fern brooch on her lapel, and then unveiled a portrait of the Queen wearing the same brooch.
He says this latest design, commemorating the anniversary of World War I, is also a form of brainwashing.
Conspiracy is another word for an orchestrated campaign or a strategy. I just don't think they're being very open about it.
The Prime Minister has added his weight to the theory. His two preferences for the flag both include a silver fern. But all conspiracy theories aside, this week's talk at Canterbury Museum to discuss the flag change was almost a full house. Each person attending to hear Michael's opinions and to see his own preferred design, one he created himself, that is based on Gordon Walter's work.
It's completely fresh and different. We have to decide whether we want to do something that's quite different and stands out from the crowd, or whether we want a flag that's just like a bought one, just looks like could be anybody's flag.
Michael's adapted this design for the Army, the Navy and the police. He hopes the panel will pick it as part of the national flag referendum.
I'll be very happy if the one that wins is better than mine.
His design received mixed reactions from the audience.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. It's really great to start to see a few different designs and a bit of a alternative to the silver fern.
And he's given his ideas. I can't say I like his pattern, but there'd be other choices that we could have.
One thing they could agree on, it's time for the Union Jack to be removed from the national flag.
Because I don't want to be part of the Union Jack, because we're not Poms, English. We're New Zealanders, unique, so that bit should go.
We're kind of our own country now. It would be nice to have a flag that reflected that.
Michael has been fascinated with the country's flag for more than a decade. He's written books and essays on the subject. In fact, flags just fascinate Michael in general.
There's some very good things have been done with somebody in the front holding the flag and everyone following, and some terrible, terrible things have been done with flags.
Michael hopes the public will be paying enough attention to make a more informed choice in the national referendum later this year.
Could everybody please put their other agendas to the side and focus on the real issue?
There's also a little-known Canterbury flag. Michael says maybe it's just the right time that this was updated too. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
Well, it's fair to say Christchurch is constantly changing, and the latest addition to our ever-changing city is the new $20 million Margaret Mayhew Memorial Playground. It's designed by primary school students. The final designs have been released and now work is just getting underway. Marcus Gibbs caught up with the young designers.
Nearly 2 years ago, Christchurch was swept up in excitement. These three students had won the Amazing Place competition after designing a playground straight out of Margaret Mayhew's books, with castles, turrets, slides, a fantastic all-ages playground in the heart of the city.
I just had this idea to have a Margaret Mayhew Memorial Playground.
Now, after a slow start, this project is kicking off. The former home of the Centennial Pool is prepped and ready. Work is about to begin, and the children's designs will soon be brought to life.
It's really great knowing that work is getting underway and we're going to have a playground soon.
More than 6,000 Canterbury school children took part in the competition, and more than 300 different entries were submitted. But it was these students from Selwyn House School that were deemed the best with their fantastic design, a tribute to the late children's author, Margaret Mayhew.
I'm really excited to be able to go on it because it's something that we've worked for from the sketching right to now, and I think it's going to be really awesome, and like to have everyone there and it will be sort of like, I built this.
The Margaret Mayhew Memorial Playground design draws heavily on regional themes such as the Canterbury Plains, coast and wetlands, with water play being a key feature of the playground. Most of the $20 million budget will be spent on landscaping, decking, paving and lighting. $3 million will be spent on some of the world's top playground equipment. There will be a 10-metre high climbing tower, a 4-metre wide slide and a double flying fox. Fun for the whole family.
I think it'll be amazing. I'm particularly looking forward to this slide because, as you said, it was 4 metres wide, and it'll be really cool because you'll be able to slide down it with lots of friends at the same time.
The playground will take up about a hectare of a large block bound by the Avon River and Manchester, Madras and Armagh streets. The rest of the block will include parkland for the community. These four young designers hope the entire city will be able to enjoy their playground, no matter someone's age.
I personally don't think you can ever grow out of a playground because as you get older, you will start just using it differently. It's all that imagination.
It's not hard to see the similarities between the girls' original design and the artist's impressions released to the public.
I think there are a lot of the ideas and the general concepts that we wanted to have in this. Like, we really wanted the idea of reading and that into it, and that's one thing that they've really put in.
For these junior architects, the next few months are going to be very exciting as they watch their playground come to life. The Prime Minister himself gave their design his tick of approval. This competition, just what Christchurch needed.
Part of the rebuild is physically people seeing progress. Part of it is about hope and vision for the city, and having youngsters engaged in what the future of playgrounds and things will look like gives them a sense of ownership in the future of Christchurch.
Cantabrians are thrilled with the finished designs. They can't wait to see them turned into a reality.
Yeah, I think it would be great.
Looks brilliant.
looks brilliant for children.
I think it looks really cool. Yeah, it looks like it will be a lot of fun.
The playground is slightly delayed. The first elements were supposed to be open to the public by Easter. That's only a few weeks away. But when CTV visited the site this week, groundworks were only just beginning. Sarah hopes that once complete, this world-class playground will attract people into the central city. It's a place where these students can bring their families.
I've got 2 younger brothers, and so I'm really excited for seeing them happen because they don't remember me working on it, so they'll be like, oh my gosh, my sister did this.
A playground from the picture books for all of Christchurch to enjoy when it opens this spring. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
And news just into us here. Couldn't have come at a worse time. A bus has broken down in the right-hand lane of Harper Ave, right at the intersection of Beatty Ave and Carlton Moor Corner. The council is saying expect significant delays. All still to come as CTV News continues the tactics. Get ready for Hamilton. Welcome back to CTV News. Well, a man charged with the arson of 3 earthquake-abandoned houses and 1 van has been granted bail today at the Christchurch District Court. 43-year-old Errol Carl Tate of Linwood was charged with burning 2 houses in Franklin Street. The 2 houses are owned by Synergy Contract Services and were allegedly set alight 3 months ago. One of the properties was also burnt down along with a van as well. Police allege that in February, Tate also burgled a property on Shore Avenue. Police opposed bail, but Judge Noel Walsh granted it and remanded Tate to appear in court again on April the 1st with a curfew of 9 p.m. till 7 a.m. And now it's time to check out the business report with Warren Head from Headliners.
I'm Warren Head from headliner.co.nz. To start again with milk. Dear to our hearts in this milk-loving, producing province. The dairy auction midweek was rather a big disappointment. The price dropped 9.6% for whole milk powder, and that lowered the kg price to $2,900 or thereabouts per US dollars a tonne for the substance. Now, what this really means is that's still quite a distance below the $3,500 kg number required to support the projection by Fonterra of a $4.70 kg milk payout price to farmers this season. Can it get any higher than this? Well, possibly, because the data coming through suggests that this was nothing to do with the 1080 scare. It had everything to do with a lot of supply coming onto the market at the same time and not enough buyers to pick it up. So supply and demand issue rather than a health issue. What it also has done, of course, is highlight our exposure to the Chinese market. And in that context, there's more talk this week about advancing the possibility of a free trade agreement with India. Now, this will not be easy to get over the line, but things are moving very rapidly in the context of the Indian economy under their new Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. Their growth rate is quite extraordinary. They're looking for technological advances that really fit very well with what we produce here in Canterbury. And this week, there was a business mission to the city, brought in by New Zealand Trade and Enterprise, the Canterbury Chamber of Commerce and CERA. I went to the briefing at Ridges Hotel for the day it was held on Monday. Fascinating to hear the developments that the technical firms in India have and the vast amounts of capital they have that they could deploy here to our rebuild, and we could sell some of our technology back the other way. They went for a cruise on Hamilton jet boats, for example, and there's work up there in cleaning up the vast Ganges River basin. So we'll see more of that coming through. On vessels, let me just say that the interesting development of the week occurred down in Timaru, where the coastal shipping company Pacifica, which has been on our coastline for almost 30 years now, opened up a link through to Prime Port down there, looking to capitalise again on that dairy export market and other substances like the beer they make at Washdyke down there. The vessel is the Spirit of Endurance, and this shipping company is increasing its fleet next week, putting another vessel onto the coast called the Spirit of Canterbury. So I look forward to talking about that one next week. And finally, to close this evening, just to say that the Flyway Transport Freight Company is still in the middle of its book build, but it looks like it's coming in at the bottom of the price range, and the shares may be about $1.20. I'm picking there'll be interest in that. and the organising brokers on that are Forsyth Bar, who of course you can find in this city down in Eddington. I'm Warren Head from headliner.co.nz. I'll see you again next week.
Some sports news for you now, and after another disappointing loss on Monday, Gordon Finlater was down at the tactics training to see how the side is preparing for this Sunday's trip to Hamilton.
After 3 rounds of competition, it's proving to be yet another challenging ANZ Netball Championship for the mainland Tactics. After Monday night's 48-41 loss to the Central Pulse, the side now find themselves at the bottom of the New Zealand Conference. After forcing a string of shooting errors out of the Pulse's shooting pair of Irene van Dijk and Jodie Brown, it was the introduction of a young substitute goal attack, Amelia Ann Wells, whose distance shooting helped the visitors to the win.
Yeah, look, we underestimated probably what she could do. Pre-season, she wasn't really that strong. When she first came on the very first game of the season, she wasn't very good, so we probably underestimated her.
While the side put together a strong defensive performance on Monday, it was with ball in hand that the Tactics struggled to break down their opposition. Coach Sue Hawkins hinted at today's training that the side may now opt for a more direct route into the shooting circle.
It is game 3. We are coming to game 4. Our tactics have now gone, well, let's now isolate her into the circle a bit more. So let's see if we can get that ball through, and we've been doing a lot of work on passing from a little bit further out to get the pass straight into our shooters. So instead of 2 shooters in the circle, you'll probably see a one-on-one more.
One of those shooters is Malawi international Maui Kumwenda. After a stellar debut season for the Tactics last year, the shooter has looked in top form through her first 3 games this campaign. Kumwenda is enjoying her second year at Christchurch and working on her game with the new coach.
Most of the time when we are playing the ball, it didn't come much to the circle, so we are trying just to hold it. So yeah, I'm learning new things from her, so I'm so excited about this.
While English is Kumwenda's second language, there's no louder voice on the court come game time, with her constantly offering encouragement to teammates.
Last year was hard for me to speak, it's different language. So this year is better because when you have got a voice, we need to talk in the court. So voice help in the court most of the times.
After 2 performances riddled with niggly errors, one of the focuses in training this week is yet again ironing out unforced errors.
We're now putting 55 minutes together, not 45 minutes, which is a real positive from our point of view, but now it's about finishing off. Our error rate is huge, and that's the theme for this week, is to cut it out, to cut out those stupid little errors. And if we cut them out, we'll be right.
The Tactics take on the Magic in Hamilton on Sunday night before a bye the following week. A win this weekend would be sure to help make the break just that bit more enjoyable.
On
get
our
a good
holiday.
performance. Yeah, your holiday, a week off.
We're really earning our holiday. Yeah, let's go to Bahamas. I think that'd be nice. I might stay there. We are targeting this game, definitely. I mean, it's like every game we target, but we just want that, turn that knob just a little bit further and finish off, and then I think we'll be right. Magic a young side, so there's no reason why we can't match those young mid-quarters and a young keeper in the defence end. So yeah, look, I think I'm confident, and I believe in the team, and we've just all got to keep believing.
Gordon Finlater, CTV Sport.
And if you wanted to get in touch with us here at CTV News, you might have a sports story, a community story, or something that we just need to know about. You can also email the team at news@ctv.co.nz. Well, still to come here on CTV News, your region's weather. Welcome back to CTV News. Time now for your region's weather.
Good evening, Canterbury. Let's take a look at your weather. Timaru, Temuka and Geraldine, you're on a high of 15 today. Ashburton 15 degrees for you, Methven slightly cooler on 14. Rakaia 15. Further north, Darfield, Leeston and Rolleston, you all shared 14 degrees today. Lincoln and Christchurch, similar picture on 14. Over in Akaroa today, it was a mild day for you on 14 degrees. Further north, Kaiapoi, Rangiola and Amberley, you are all on 15 today. Culverden, Hamner Springs and Cheviot, you're all sitting on 15 degrees today. Kaikoura slightly cooler on 14. Let's take a look at tomorrow's weather now. Timaru will be mostly fine and sunny for your Friday with just some moderate northeasterly winds. Your overnight low is 3, tomorrow's high 17. To Ashburton now, there'll be some sunshine and northeasterly winds to make for a nice autumn day in mid-Canterbury. Tonight's low is 3, tomorrow's high 17 degrees. Taking a look at Christchurch now, mostly fine and sunny for you with just some cool breezy northeasterly winds. Your overnight low is 3, tomorrow's high 17 degrees. And up in Kaikoura tomorrow, it'll be mostly fine and sunny with just some moderate northeasterly winds. Your overnight low is 3, your high tomorrow 17. Taking a look at the other areas around the region now, Temuka and Geraldine, a fine day for you on 19. Methven and Rakaia, a similar picture for you as well, final day 17. Darfield, Leeston, Rolleston and Lincoln sharing that nice fine weather as well, sitting on 17. Over in Akaroa tomorrow, expect the sun to be out all day for you, sitting on 17. Kaiapoi, Rangiola and Amberley, fine day for you also, 17 degrees. Culverden, Hamner Springs and Cheviot, the sunshine will be out for you also, a fine day, bit warmer though, 19 degrees. Looking ahead for Canterbury now, on Saturday it'll be fine and sunny with just some high cloud here and there and mild temperatures. Expect some moderate northerly winds as well and some rain by night time. As for Sunday, it'll be cloudy with some periods of rain here and there and some southerly winds. Looking ahead to Monday now, some early showers are expected at first, but that will clear with the sun coming out during the day and some southwesterly winds heading your way. Tuesday, fine and sunny with just some moderate northeasterly winds. And for Wednesday, there'll be some high cloud increasing with just some moderate northerly winds, but expect that to change to southwesterlies with a period of rain expected later on in the day. But for now, that is your weather for Thursday.
Thank you, Jared, and that is your CTV News for Thursday. Have a great evening.
Local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.